So, hey everybody, welcome to a Brilliant Businesses podcast. My name is Nick Bryant, and I'm super pleased to be joined today by Nick Coffin from Mother Goose Mortgages. Morning, Nick.
Morning.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Feeling good?
It is. It's been a busy week, but yeah, good.
Very good. So, Nick's going to tell us about his business and how it all came about. Obviously, it's a mortgage broker in business based in Tunbridge Wells. And then we're going to move into some other topics on mortgages and also find out a bit more how the name Mother Goose came about. He's going to tell us about that. And also our share of love of whiskey as well. We might talk a little bit about that.
Very good.
So, yeah, take it away, Nick. Tell us how it all came about.
I originally started in mortgages back in 1991 with NatWest up in the West End. And I quite enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the financial advice bit, and it was very different to banking. We were basically allowed to get out and meet people and have conversations with interesting people.
Yeah.
And that seemed way better than everything I'd done up till then. Carried on doing it and became a broker in 98 for a very good firm in Sevenoaks. And then we went out on our own in 2005.
Okay.
On there.
Yeah.
But name, I think we were talking just before this, name, I think I said to you, if you can live with a surname like Coffin, then you get used to basically having silly names around you. But it did tell me that people remember your name. I could go into a shop 4 years after making a purchase and they would still remember you with a name like Coffin. So we kind of thought, well, a name for a business, if we're going to have one, let's make it memorable.
Absolutely.
And I had a good friend at the time who came up with some suggestions, and this was the most out there of these suggestions, and we went with it. And it's been. I almost don't mind if people think it's a bit odd or strange, as long as they remember it.
I think that for me, it conjures up Mother Goose looking after you. You know, you're looking after someone. You know, I think that's the.
Yeah, I think it was. We won't have something that was friendly, and not the normal financial associates or whatever you could have on there. Yeah,
that corporate sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So your story sort of goes into 2008 with all the troubles, the financial crisis, but you managed to keep going through that. That's a big part of your story, isn't it?
It is. We had. I've got clients I've been working with probably for. Well, since 98, 99 still. And what we learned going through the crisis, it was a very tough time for financial services industry. I don't think there'd be too many people crying over that, but it was tough in business, and we learned loads of lessons. I think there's a bit of a saying, you learn more about business when it's tough than you do in the easy years. So we learned a lot from there. What we picked up, though, from in that quieter time, the activities that really helped us were the basic core kind of human activities. It was being close to your clients, knowing them, understanding them, and just really going back and developing relationships with those existing clients. And that was probably the most valuable lesson we learned from it, and that we've used since 2008 onwards. Yeah,
and that's what sets you apart. I mean, that's my question to you: is why should people come and use you? There are other mortgage brokers out there, but it's that attention to detail on that.
It is. I would. You're right. There's lots of other brokers out there. I guess we tend to put the client right at the centre of the advice we give. We genuinely do that, and that's probably behind why we've held clients for such a long time. We take a long view. If we've got someone, if we get a new client, we value that because we'll look at that relationship and think, right, if we can give a good advice and we can help these people, then we should be available to give advice all the way through their mortgage journey. So we can't look at someone or a new client that comes on board and think, okay, we could be working with these people for 20, 30 years, and I don't think other people approach it in that same way.
Okay.
It does though mean that in terms of the advice you have to put them right at the centre of it. And if you do that, then the people will carry on using our services, and that's what we aim to do.
Yeah, and that's with the longevity side of it. Then obviously their children and maybe their grandchildren along the way. Or you mentioned earlier that you've got the first generation thing going on already.
I've got, it's quite weird. It makes you feel very old to start with. But yeah, we've got
good.
clients who we're starting to to work with children. We haven't quite got to the grandchildren bit. I think I might.
You might-
I had a plan to retire at some point in this lifetime, no time soon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What will you do with the business when if you've got children hand down to, or what's your plans for that?
We've got children. Whether they want to be cursed with having to do mortgage of broking, we'll wait and see.
Okay.
But we kind of from a business model, we kind of view it that we're certainly engaged in doing this for another 15 years or so.
Yeah. Well, I've got some advice from you before, and it's been very easy to talk to you. And so we've got a familiar love of whiskey, so we've got that in common.
It was. I think you were chasing me down for a bit of advice, and I was probably trying to get away with some good friends on a whiskey tour to Speyside, which was lovely.
Yeah, you told me about it, and you showed me the picture of the Macallan wall, which was very.
Yeah. I think I said to you if I there's a couple of great distilleries, and you walked into one, and it was I wanted to remodel my whole house on the reception of a distillery, which my wife says is wrong.
Yeah.
But yes, I think I said if I ever make it to heaven, which is very doubtful, but if I did, I'm hoping that the Macallan whiskey wall would be there.
The entrance, wouldn't that be lovely?
Would be great.
Come in,
welcome.
Yeah,
have a glass.
Yeah, that would be a proper heaven.
Yeah,
yes. Well, Nick, I know you're short for time, so you want to get going. But thank you very much for coming and sharing what you do and how you do it. All Nick's details are on the Brilliant Businesses website. So if anyone has got any advice they need about mortgages, or need to remortgage, or want to change their rate, I know now is the moment, isn't it? Because the rates are.
It is.
Yeah.
For a long time, we've been having a conversation, or the narrative has been rates are going down. We'll sit around and wait for next month's rates. Right now, we're just in a little bit of a blip where rates are going up. So the conversation is just changing. So I guess our words to people is, if you're coming out a rate at any point in the next 6 months, come and have a chat with us, and we'll give you what options are available from your existing lender and from the bigger, wider market. Yeah, okay, that's a great advice right there. So all Nick's details will be on here, and you can contact him through us. If you like what you're doing, please subscribe. Nick, thank you for joining us. Thank you very much.
Good to see you again, mate.
Excellent.
And we'll see you all for another podcast soon. Thank you very much. Bye.